Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. This is Backstage at Coach. My name is Tara Jeffries. I'm a membership advisor here at Strategic Coach. And the man to my right needs no introduction, Dan Sullivan, co-founder of Strategic Coach. Our topic today is really the first steps on self-transformation and what that means for entrepreneurs. This is your chance to ask questions. You have Dan Sullivan right here, ready to answer, so please do take advantage of that. In fact, anytime you ask a question or make a comment, your name is going to be put into a draw, and at the end of our broadcast, we're going to announce a winner of this book with accompanying workbook, Unique Ability 2.0, so you can really dig into the topics that we discussed today. So my role at Strategic Coach as a membership advisor means I am speaking with super successful entrepreneurs all day long. And one of the questions I often ask our clients is, what is it that drew you to us? What was it that kind of was the tipping point? You made a decision to become a Strategic Coach client. And almost everyone answers with unique ability. And I also, bless you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I also had the privilege of sitting in on one of your most recent workshops, Dan, and you had a slightly new spin on unique ability, and I think it's just really great that we have this platform and we can bring that topic to our Facebook community. So thanks for joining us, everyone, and I guess we'll get right into it. Dan, why don't you talk to our viewers, what is unique ability and what's the importance of unique ability as an entrepreneur?
Well, entrepreneurs, Tara, by their very nature, tend to focus on a capability very early in their life that probably for the most part they weren't really, didn't learn this at school. It's something that they just discovered about themselves. And one of the things that I notice, and I do surveys on a continual basis of when they actually went out into the marketplace for the first time to sell something, and it's surprising, that oftentimes it's earlier than 10 years old, and certainly in their childhood. And the other thing is that they have an attitude of kind of pitching in and helping in situations where they're not really required to do this. They just have this kind of desire to be useful, and so autumn has set in Toronto here, so I've got my first runny nose. But the big thing about it is that we're taught in the educational system that you have to pass all the grades, you have to study all the subjects, you have to be well-rounded, you have to be good at anything. And entrepreneurs, by their very nature, don't follow that path. They take a path that they're really good at, something that they're really excited about, and they become entrepreneurs. And in Strategic Coach, we don't take people who are just thinking about being an entrepreneur. Usually, I think on average, our clients have got 10 years experience, and they've pretty well all of them have achieved their goals that they set off to achieve when they first became entrepreneurs. So we sort of catch them when they've kind of maxed out on what their first goals were, and they got there. And one of the things that happened is that their life got filled up with all sorts of activities, and not necessarily the activity that they're really excited about, and what prompted them to be an entrepreneur in the first place. And so what we do is we take them and get them simplified again. So they now have a lot of experience. They know the marketplace. They know what the business cycle is. They know how to make a profit. They've built an organization, but now they're maxed out in terms of their time. So very first thing when you come into Strategic Coach, we say, well, all your time is taken up with activities now. In your whole field of activities, let's draw, so we picture that as a big circle, and this is all your activities. And then within that big circle, there's a smaller circle, and we call this UA, unique ability. And what it means is that now you can take yourself out of this big field of activities and you can go back to a simple activity. And I'll just give you a tip. I have 3 activities. This is my 45th year of coaching, so I've been in the marketplace coaching entrepreneurs for 45 years, and the program, Strategic Coach program, is in its 30th year. And what I do is that I coach, and I still, probably this quarter, I'll do 14 full-day workshops with 14 different groups, between 500 and 600 entrepreneurs. And the other thing is I keep coming up with new ideas. So I'm in a relationship with really smart, very inventive, very ingenious individuals. And I've got a way of capturing other people's ideas, capturing my own ideas, and creating diagrams and creating questions. And this comes up with new thinking tools. And unique ability is a thinking tool where you look at, but what am I really passionate about? What really motivates me? And the interesting thing about this is that it's easier to come from the negative than it is to come from the positive. So I just put 2 words up on the screen on a whiteboard, and I say crappy stuff. So if you think about your activities, all the stuff that's sort of crappy stuff, what would be on that list? And they bring it down, and they write this and this and this and this and this and this and this that they don't like doing. And I said, okay, so what's left over? And immediately they zero in on their unique ability, and it's quite magical when it happens. So I think we have a question right off the bat.
Oh, great. We have a question already?
Okay, so this question is from Bob, and he wants to know, how different does my unique ability need to be significant to clients?
Well, it needs to be significant with one client to start with, okay? and so it's not like you have to make 100% change in your life right off the bat, but there's certain clients who really, really love working with you, and that's the person that you zero in on, because what they're responding to is actually your unique ability, not your product, not your service. And usually it takes the form that your client or customer can think about things in your presence that they can't do with anyone else. And I find that, for example, that really, when you're in the marketplace, you're not actually selling a product or a service. You're providing some sort of help that a client or customer can think about their future in a better way. And if you have the ability to actually ask them questions and help them clarify, then you can fit your product or service into this. But really what you're selling anybody, and that's the business I'm in, and I think anyone who's really successful as an entrepreneur, is that what you're really selling is a bigger, better future to the client. They can see their future a lot better. And the skills you have for helping someone actually see a bigger and better future, I would say that those are your unique abilities. And so you don't have to worry about starting with 100 clients or customers. Start with 1. And then if you can do it with 1, you can probably identify 10 more who are kind of like that, and you just grow it as your experience grows, your capability grows, your confidence grows, and then you have bigger goals for yourself. So that's how I've been coaching for 45 years, and every person I've worked with, this is how they've done it, and this is how I coach them.
That's great. So let's go back for a second and talk a little bit about the crappy stuff. Because like you said, for sure, when you say crappy stuff, everyone knows what that means for them. Everyone immediately makes a list of all the crappy stuff. And I'm sure everyone in our audience today did the same thing. So I'm going to challenge our community to think about this a little bit differently. You have your list, your idea of the crappy stuff. What if you could eliminate that crappy stuff and only do the other stuff, the stuff that's not the crappy stuff, the stuff that you love? What would that look like? Please go ahead and put that stuff in the comments section. Let us know what your freed up activities would be in your business. and share that, please.
Yeah. Well, crappy stuff, and I find that everybody just fills up the list when you say crappy stuff, because it's one is you don't really see yourself being very good at crappy stuff. That's one of the definitions. It tires you out very, very quickly. You dread actually going in the next day to actually do crappy stuff, that part of the day which is crappy stuff you don't like. So for me, it would be detailed work where I have to check up and do the accuracy of anything, or proofreading, or any kind of really, if you think about a theater, I'm a front stage performer. Most entrepreneurs are front stage performers. And the reason is, to become an entrepreneur in the first place, you have to be a good salesperson. And so that's a front stage activity. And what happens backstage, it would be a lot better if other people were doing the backstage activity so that you could just do the front stage activity. And so do we have another question, Linda?
We do. So this question is from Anna, and she wants to know, if there's a lot of activities that I like doing, how do I know which one is my unique ability?
Great question.
Yeah, well, here's a real easy way to figure this out, and that is, Anna, if you have a team member, if you have team members, or ask your team members if you could have me just doing what you think is best for the business. What do you think those activities are? So I have to tell you, I've got, we have a big team now, but even when I had a team of 5 or 6 people, if I said, if you could design Dan's week, and just have me doing the things that you think I really should be doing and that you see that I'm really good at, what would they be? And they would have answered 30 years ago exactly the way they would answer today. You should be coaching, you should be creating new ideas, so that there's always innovation taking place in coach, and you should be in front of the camera talking to somebody, or being interviewed, or anything, but it's all front stage. So the interesting thing is that people say, well, I'm the only one who can know my unique ability. Actually, people outside of you probably know your unique ability better than you do, but you never ask them if I should just be doing this and not doing any of this. So one of the exercises we have, and we've got a year-long ongoing campaign here, is to how many people can free up 1,000 hours from their present activities. And the people who have found this easiest to do, in other words, most people work 2,000, 2,200, anywhere from 2,000 to 2,500 hours. And so I said, well, we're going to free up 1,000 of those hours. In the first year, we're going to free up 1,000 of those hours.
Wow.
And so I said, now you can do this the hard way, or you can do it the easy way. And the easy way is go back to your team and said, right off the bat, in the next 30 days, I'd like you to free up 500 of my hours. In other words, take away 500 hours of what I'm doing now, and then have that being done by someone else. And everybody knows how to do this. Every team member knows how to do this. They said, well, you shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't be doing this, and you shouldn't be doing this. And Anna, you asked a very important question. You like doing it, but like doesn't make money. Love makes money. So if you really want to make a lot of money, don't be doing the things you like doing. Do the things that you love doing, because customers and clients pick up on love. Like doesn't really move the needle at all.
That's great. If you're just joining us, welcome. My name is Tara Jeffries. I'm here with Dan Sullivan, and we are talking about unique ability. We do have another question. Let's get to that.
Okay, this question is from Stefan, and Stefan wants to know, can your unique ability change over the years?
Yeah, it's a really good question. It does change in the sense that it gets tighter and tighter. In other words, that when you first identify your unique ability, it might be a circle this big. So I'm noticing, this is my 30th year of actually working within the framework of unique ability. And that really came about because I married my business partner. So Bab Smith, who's my business partner, We work together both at home and, work together in the business. And she said right off the bat, she says, you've got some really unique ideas, you've got some really unique capabilities, and I'm just going to work and help you to actually free yourself up. And the way I would have been freed up, let's say in 1989, that's when we started the workshop program, it might be a circle this big. And now, 30 years later, it's a circle this big. And every 90 days, because our whole program works on a 90-day setting, I find 2 or 3 little activities, and I sit to myself and I say, why am I doing that? I shouldn't be doing that. So there's this constant shaving away. So it never, Stefan, it never changes in the center, but you begin getting tighter and tighter, and then more and more of your great time is going just into your unique ability, but the checks are getting bigger, the opportunities are getting bigger, the types of clients and customers you have, they keep improving. And you so there's this loop between you and another individual. And so being good at everything is mostly a waste of time. And being really fantastically good, uniquely good at one, 2, or 3 things. And we say it's usually 3 things because that's what we say, 2 or 3 things. And but you can just see the power of it. People start getting more confident. They get clearer about where they're going in their future. So it can change, but it can't change at the center. I find first crack at it when people come into Strategic Coach, first crack at it, they're 80% right, but there's still some things that they're adding in their circle that'll disappear. But that takes place next 90 days after that. So, and I have people who are in the program 30 years, so they've been here every quarter, and every quarter they're tightening up on their unique ability circle, but now they're surrounded by other people's unique abilities. So the big change isn't so much in your unique ability, it's the number of other unique abilities that you have reinforcing you, because it's not about you as an individual, it's about you as a team. And a lot of entrepreneurs can never get beyond them being one person shows, basically, but that really doesn't make a big difference in the marketplace. It's actually having a team of unique ability, which we call unique ability teamwork, that makes the big difference.
Wonderful. Do we have another question?
Okay, so this question comes from Jason, and he wants to know, how do we categorize what we like from what we love? Because sometimes this can get blurry for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, so write all of them that you like and love and say you have to make a decision to get rid of everything except 3 of them.
Great. Okay, so if you are
you're leaving, and you can only take 3 of them with you. Which are the 3? And one of the things that we do in the more advanced stages of Strategic Coach, we ask, this is your unique ability right now. And what really happens is that you get more and more passionate and more fascinated and more motivated by using your unique ability out in the world. And so at a certain point, maybe a year down the road, after entrepreneurs have been in Strategic Coach for a year, we say, okay, you kind of got a really good handle on your unique ability now. Now we're going to take you 25 years ahead. And so a lot of our entrepreneurs are late 30s, early 40s, sometimes 50. But if you add 25 years to their life and you say you're still working, as a matter of fact, your results are 10 times, 100 times bigger than they were when you first started, what's your unique ability 25 years down the road? And they say, still the thing that I'm passionate about. So for the next 25 years, I'm passionate about this, I'm motivated about it. But vast increase in the amount of other unique abilities that you're actually collaborating with. And the big thing is that the more that you know your own unique ability, the more you're able to spot somebody else's unique ability. So if you're not doing it for yourself, you can't see it in other people. The more you see your own unique ability, the more you can see other people's unique ability.
That's great. Dan, what happens when you get two people who are right smack in the middle of their unique ability and they come together?
Yeah, well, this is the whole point, and I'm surrounded here in the studio with a team of unique ability individuals. Everywhere I am, when I'm at work, whether I'm coaching workshops, whether I'm creating new materials, whether I'm doing podcasts, whether I'm doing Facebook Live, I'm always there as a member of a team, and the other team members are taking care of every single part of the activity that's not my unique ability. And so what you're constantly looking for is just that part of the individual that they are also passionate about, fascinated with, or motivated. And so in our company, the moment that you commit yourself to your unique ability, then we say to you, and this would be team members that we, and we have, we're into the 130s now as far as our team go right now, is that the more that they commit to their unique ability and it shows up in their results, then we say, okay, tell us what your crappy stuff is and we'll find somebody else to do this, or we'll just stop doing it altogether. And this is the new way of approaching personal self-development in a digital age. Okay, so we've been living roughly about 50 years now in the digital age. And prior to the digital age, the form was a big pyramid, and it was hierarchical, and you had a job, and the whole point, if you did a really good job, then you'd be promoted to the next level. But it was all defined by being inside. And you did, and basically your success was based on becoming really good at things you really didn't like doing. That was the whole key. Okay.
Sound familiar to a few people out there?
and what I find now with the digital age, because we can network with people. So I have entrepreneurs in the program who have 25, 30-person companies, but none of the individuals are actually in the same space with them. It's virtual, it's digital, and sometimes it's around the world. But in every case, it's just unique ability communicating with unique ability. So what we've created at Strategic Coach, and we started way before, as far as I know, we were the first dedicated coaching company in the world just for successful entrepreneurs. This goes back to 1974, and we were just entering the digital age at that point, and I could see that you had to have a totally different way of looking at self-development and self-growth as an entrepreneur. And I just focused on entrepreneurs. I didn't work with anyone else. And so if you are an entrepreneur, don't plan your life like you're working in a corporation. Okay, in corporation, you have to do all sorts of things that you don't like doing. In an entrepreneurial company, the entrepreneur can just do what they love doing.
That's great. Do we have another question?
Yeah, so this next question is from Bobby, and he's asking if you can talk about the relationship between unique ability and Colby and StrengthsFinder.
Yeah. Okay, so this is inside knowledge, and you've obviously got some background on it. So in our process at Strategic Coach, both for entrepreneurs coming into the program and also for new team members coming to work at Strategic Coach, we have some tools from that have been developed outside of Strategic Coach that we find extraordinarily useful, and one of them is Colby. And Colby is invented by a woman by the name of Kathy Colby, and we've been working close to 30 years with the Colby organization, and it's a test that you can do online, and you can do it right now. Anyone out there, you just go to Colby, KOLBE.com, and I think it's $50, and the test takes you about 20 minutes, and you fill it in, and you'll be amazed when the results come back of how much it'll tell you about yourself. And so Colby tells you when you get your best results, how do you organize yourself to get your best results, okay? And there's a real difference between how people have to organize their thinking and organize their focus to get really good results. And then there's another one called StrengthsFinders, and it's you just go StrengthsFinders, I think, .com, And it's the same thing. You can do the test online. And so Colby tells you how you get your best results. In other words, in any situation to get the best results, how do you go about doing it? For example, the way I get my best results is to start talking. The way I achieve results is to start achieving the results. So I don't need any pre-planning. I don't need to organize myself. I just go into motion, and then I have a pretty good notion of whether I'm succeeding or not succeeding. And but other people have to do a lot of research, and that's great. And if you have an organization, you need all these different capabilities. But StrikeFinder is different because it tells you what you will focus on most. And in my case, I'll focus most on ideas that are good for entrepreneurs. So I'm passionate about coming up with new ideas that help entrepreneurs think clearly about their thinking, think clearly about the goals that they're going to be achieving. Think clearly about the teamwork that they kind of need. So that's my passion, is just to focus on new ideas, new concepts, new tools. And to go back to the question, is that we use outside tools to help us, and then there's a whole process that we use inside. But wherever we come across a new tool that seems to help our clients and also our team members to actually get real clear about their unique ability, we use it, because that's other people's unique ability. Kathy Colby's unique ability, the strength finders, the people who created that, that's their unique ability. So I'm open to anybody's unique ability in the world, including our viewers today. And we would love to know what your unique ability is, which means that you've signed up for a strategic coach.
I think we have another question.
Yeah, so this question is from Sohail, and he wants to know, what if my unique ability is not related with money-making activities?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a really, here's the thing about this. And first of all, it's a great question. I mean, it's just a really great question. And it's, but I would say that then I don't know exactly what unique ability you're thinking about here now, so I have to do a little bit of conjecture here. But my sense is that you never know that until you actually go out into the marketplace and use the unique ability in a business situation. Okay. And so my feeling is that a lot of people have been told by other people how you have to be if you're going to be a successful business people. But I find usually the people who say how you have to be actually aren't business people. They're university professors or high school teachers, or they're guidance counselors, or they have the foggiest idea. There's only one way to really find out what your unique ability is, and then use it and create something that's valuable and useful to someone else. So I have unique abilities, which wouldn't mean anything whatsoever if I also didn't have the ability to use my unique abilities to actually help someone have a bigger and better future. So my unique ability is just where it starts. But where it really becomes important is because of my unique ability, someone else is more clear, is more confident, is more capable about their future. That's where all the money, that's where all the business is in the marketplace. That's where all the money is in the marketplace, and that's where the future is in the marketplace. It isn't in terms of your unique ability. It's how do you use your unique ability to help someone else have a bigger future, and that's all business is about that. So I think it's important for you to spend half your time thinking about your unique ability. I think it's crucial that you spend the other half of your time saying, what kind of bigger future does this person really want to create for themselves, and how can my unique ability actually help them get there? And that's how I created my business. And everybody who's a successful entrepreneur, and I've coached 6,000 entrepreneurs, it's that two-way thing. I'm clear about what I do great, and I'm absolutely clear about what my clients want that's bigger and better, and I just line up my unique ability. and mine isn't the only unique ability that they need, you know. So that's it. So you just got to test. I mean, and you know, here's something I found out. And I'll just leave off with this because entrepreneurism fundamentally requires courage. It just fundamentally requires courage. Okay? So there's lots of people who have great unique abilities that never get developed in the course of their lifetime because it scares them to go out into the marketplace and try to earn a living with their unique abilities. Okay? And then there's another group of people who are scared to actually go out into the marketplace and test out their unique abilities, but they have the courage to do it, and they get paid for the rest of their life for the unique ability. They're both scared of going out into the marketplace. One of them is so scared they don't do it, and the other one is scared, but they do it. And the only difference between individuals over the course of their lifetime is they both start out scared. The only question is which one has the courage to actually go out and test the idea. So
Wow.
that's my basic belief. And I'm 75 years old, and that was true when I was 15 years old, and it's true when I'm 75 years old.
Well, that's great, and I think that's a perfect place for us to wrap from. Thank you so much. We do have a contest winner for Unique Ability 2.0. That would be Richard Dougal. Richard Dougal, thank you so much for your comments. We'll be sending you a copy of Unique Ability 2.0. For everybody else, if you want to discover more about your unique ability, and you don't have to be a successful entrepreneur, anyone can discover more about their unique ability. In the description area, there's a link to download the Beginner's Guide to Unique Ability. Please head on over there and download that for yourself. So we're about to sign off here. Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was a lot of fun. Thanks to our viewers for watching and liking. And most importantly, I do want to ask you to share this with your network. We're big believers that your network is your net worth, and you never know what nugget of wisdom is going to come up that's going to be transformational in someone else's life. And that's the power of social media. So please share this with your network, and hopefully we can make a difference in someone's life there. Thank you again. Please join us next time. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tara.
Thank you.
And focus on your unique ability.